'Twas the night before Hogswatch, and all through the house one creature stood. It was a mouse. Everything starts somewhere. But it was much earlier than that when most people forgot that the very oldest stories are, sooner or later, about blood.
Hello!
Hey guys! Welcome to another Dorky date. And this time, we're doing a little something special, and we're getting the whole family involved.
And why, you may ask, would we sacrifice our me time and do our dorky date with the whole family? Because it's Christmas time.
That's right. But we're doing something special today. You can celebrate Christmas, you can celebrate Hanukkah, whatever you want to do. But today, we are going to celebrate Hogswatch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hogswatch. The day that the Hogfather comes, and if you have left him out a pork pie and a glass of sherry, he will leave toys and presents for all the good little boys and girls.
So, if you don't know what Hogswatch is, then you are not a fan of Terry Pratchett.
That's right. Hogswatch was first introduced in the Hogfather. Actually, it might have been mentioned in a few of the other ones.
I think it was.
Hogfather was where it was really showcased in the Discworld series of novels, and there was a whole movie made for the European market. It was like a movie miniseries. It's really long,
miniseries.
but it's worth it.
From BBC.
Yes.
And it's really good, and if you're a fan of Terry Pratchett, if you're a fan of Hogfather especially, then you really ought to watch it because it's a really good adaptation. I mean, there are some changes because you have to, because of copyright laws and everything, but it is such a wonderful adaptation, and the cast is amazing. My favorite, of course, being the guy who plays Teton.
Yes.
Because he was also in an episode of Doctor Who.
Indeed. Puts out a very Willy Wonka from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie vibe.
Yeah, like Willy Wonka, like Charlie, all grown up, but completely wrong in the head.
Because he grew up in the chocolate factory.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, if you're a dorky or other kind of nerd and you like to celebrate the holidays, this is indeed the perfect way to do it. And like everything else, we make our own tasty.
Yep. So tonight we're going to be making our own hot cocoa with homemade marshmallows. We're going to be making pork pies, and we're going to be decorating for the holidays to get ready for Christmas.
That's right. And we're excited, so we should get started.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're going to start by making the crust that we make for a pizza crust, because a traditional pie, pork pie crust is just a boiled dough crust, and that's a boiled dough, but it's gluten-free and it's paleo. If you've seen our gluten-free pizza, Freddy Fazbear pizza recipe, then it's just that one, and we're going to make twice as much, but you have to make them separately when you make them. We've already cooked our pork. This is just a Boston butt that we cooked in the pressure cooker, and it's cooled off. We're just gonna pull it apart. We cooked it with salt and pepper, and
yeah, we added. Let's see, it was a teaspoon of salt, it was half a teaspoon of pepper, 1 cup of apple juice, 2 cups of our homemade bone broth, and then about 2.5 to 3 cups of water, just to fill it above the level of the meat.
So we've got that ready. We're going to make our crust here. We're going to make our homemade marshmallows because they need time to set. And then once we get the marshmallows made, we're going to make the hot cocoa and drink it while the pies are cooking. So,
Nom nom. Alright, shall we?
Yes, go ahead and start off with the crust.
Okay, so to start with the crust, got half a cup of water, 1/3 of a cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. thing we start with, this is our pork pie spice blend. Totally different from our pizza. We've got half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, a full teaspoon of onion powder, and a full tablespoon of parsley. So,
Dried parsley.
dried parsley. Yeah. If you're using fresh parsley, obviously you're going to need a little different measurements there.
Alright, so now we're going to make our marshmallow while he's getting that ready. And you will need half a cup of water. Put that in a mixing bowl. And add to that 3 tablespoons of gelatin. And we're just going to let that bloom. Now, we've got a heavy bottom pot, and we have a candy thermometer. And to this, we're going to add another half cup of water, a full cup of honey, and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And believe me, you don't want to add any more than that, or your marshmallows are going to taste terrible. Yes. Alright, now we're going to turn that on medium heat. And we're going to stir it up good, and then we're going to allow this to boil until it reaches 242 degrees, well, between 242 degrees and 245 degrees. That is the soft ball consistency of candy. And that's what we want to get it to. And make sure this is mixed up really good, because if your honey and your water are separate, then you can get a burnt mess. Make sure that your candy thermometer is just in the liquid and not touching the bottom of the pot. Because if it's touching the bottom of the pot, you're going to get a false reading. Alright, and so we're just going to allow that to boil.
Okay, so we've got the first batch of our dough done, and I've already rolled it out flat. And now we've got some of these great silicone cupcake cups that we've actually used in another video, but we're going to use them today for putting our pork pies in. First, we're going to start by using our cookie cutter I got here. Cut out some shapes, because I measured them. They are, as you can see, just right. Cover the top of our cupcakes. Alex, I want you to put a star in the middle of each one. This part is very important. It doesn't have to be a star, but you do need to have the middle cut out. But keep the piece. It's going to be a lid that we will use later. Push down. Now we've got lids. We're going to need to actually make dough part. In the bottom. And again, we got another batch on the way. In here.
I'm
Nice
excited to eat this.
liquid
My
proof
face.
bottom there. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Deborah has brought our egg wash. We'll need that to seal this up. Now, fortunately, this particular type of dough we're using is also really pretty naturally sticky. So we are going to line the top of this thing all the way up with our dough scraps. See, we got our cup there, lined with dough there. Now we're going to take this is that Boston butt, and it has been shredded by Deborah. And we are going to fill this thing up.
Remember not to fill it quite as much since it's already cooked.
Yeah, so this is already cooked. If you were using raw, you would fill it all the way to the top. But the dough we're using cooks a lot faster than a traditional puff pastry dough, so I would not recommend using uncooked meat. So. Now we've got
A
our...
little more.
Huh?
A little more.
A little more?
Can I put it in?
You want to put a piece in? Go ahead.
Can I add a bit?
What do you think?
Looks good.
Good? Okay.
custom button.
Now we're going to paint the side with our egg wash here.
Go wash your hair.
Yeah, don't touch anything else. After doing that,
Oh.
we're going to take our lid. We need to put a little egg wash on our lid too, don't we? In. We're going to pinch that shut. There we go. Got it all pinched shut in there.
Eat that.
And then we're going to put our lid back on. Boop. So, we've got it all covered up, and it looks nice and festive. This will keep the top nice and moist, and of course, you know, it's going to add mind-blowing flavors. So, that is our sealed pork pie, one down.
3 more to go.
11. 11 more to go. So, I'm going to get to it.
And how long are we cooking these?
I would start with 20 minutes. The thing with these is it's going to be a little difficult to tell, but when we make our calzones, it only takes about 20 minutes to cook them and to get the crust to puff up. So these should cook in about the same amount of time, and since the meat is already cooked through completely, you don't have to worry. So
350?
yes, 350.
Alright.
Alright.
Right. So our marshmallows are almost to the point where we can make them into marshmallow, and I have taken a large Pyrex dish that is in the rectangular shape. You can use any dish as long as you use rectangular, or you can have some round marshmallows, whatever. And I have put parchment paper in it, and then I put a heavy book in it to kind of make sure that we shape our parchment paper, because you don't want to do this in layers because you're going to use this to pick up your marshmallow. So we've got about 2 more degrees to go. So we're going to wait patiently here and watch it because it can go really fast. And we already have over here our gelatin and water set up in our KitchenAid, ready to become the marshmallow. Now, the thing about marshmallows is a candy, and candy is very persnickety, so it must be an exact temperature. So you really want to watch it closely. You really want to be patient. You want to keep mindful of it, because if it goes beyond, it will be too hard and it will not form. If it gets too soft, it will also not form. We need it between 242 and 245, so you have a very small window. And we're now at about 241. And when it comes to the Hogfather, right now, death is masquerading as the Hogfather because people are losing their belief in him.
Which is hilarious.
He's all kinds of bad at it.
He is so sweet though.
He means well,
He does.
but he's dead.
He tries so hard. The Hogfather is dying due to lack of belief. Because Tea Time is killing him, and like I said, Tea Time is being played by Mark Warren, and we just absolutely love him. Okay, so we have reached. You really gotta move. Alright, this is molten, and you do not want to mess with it. We're going to take it over to our KitchenAid.
I'm going to follow you.
We're going to turn this baby on low, get that gelatin mixed up, add in our vanilla, and here comes the tedious part. Very slowly, just like with the mayonnaise, you want to begin to add in that honey. Oh, this is the funny part because you're going to look at this and you're going to be like, this is not going to be marshmallow. I say it every single time when I'm pouring it in. I'm thinking, this is going to be terrible. It's not going to work out. And then every time I am amazed when it turns into marshmallow. Alright, so you want to do this as slowly as possible. I mean, start it slow and then go slower. You want just a thin stream of your honey mixture pouring in. Alright, and now that I've got about half of it in, I'm going to turn it up a little bit.
Kick it up a notch.
Because you want to get air whipped into this really good. But unlike an egg emulsion, the gelatin is a little sturdier, so you cannot really overbeat this.
Looks like it's getting lighter.
Alright, next thing is to kick it up high and let it go for 8 minutes. The timer has gone off, and this is a little trick that I like to use so that you get less of the marshmallow on the beater. And as it's running, I just slowly lift it. And a lot of that comes off. And this is delicious. And my absolute favorite part of the movie is coming up now. It's the part where Death, as the Hogfather, goes to the mall, and M-A-U-L, and the little kitties there get to see the real hogs take a wee. Alright, so we are just going to put these into our parchment paper. We remove the book.
Whoa. So flew. Can I lift the thing?
Yeah, you go with this one. And so we're just gonna try to spread this out pretty evenly. Alright, and then I'm just going to take a little cinnamon and sprinkle it on top. You don't have to do this, but since it's going in our cocoa, I thought it'd be a nice touch.
I believe it will.
Now, I like marshmallow cream in my cocoa, so I'm not terribly upset if these don't set in time. If you want them to be perfectly set, you'll probably want to make them the day before. Let's get started on our cocoa. Now, we're going to use our same pot that we made the honey mixture in, and we've just washed it. And let's see, we are going to turn it on medium heat again. And we're going to take 3.5 cups of full fat coconut milk. I'm going to add 3/4, is this 3/4 cup?
Uh-huh.
Alright. 3/4 cup of coconut sugar. If you're diabetic, you need to make sure to take your insulin before you take this. Alright, so
Thanks for the
we've got
reminder.
1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a dash of ginger, and a dash of clove. That's our spices.
Ooh.
Did you
Spicy.
put salt in this? Is there salt in here?
Uh-huh, yeah, there is a pinch of salt. It was added in with all the other...
Alright, and a pinch of salt.
Hmm?
Now, to make this really thick and creamy, we're going to add 3 eggs. We're going to whisk this all together over medium heat. And this is going to cook for about 10 minutes. And during that time, it's going to get thicker.
Do you have to stir while it cooks that 10 minutes?
Yes. Alright, the only other ingredient that you're going to need for this is a cup of good dark chocolate chips. If you can't get good dark chocolate chips anywhere nearby and you don't feel like ordering them online, you can take a really high quality dark chocolate candy bar and cut it up until you get a cup of dark chocolate. Alright, so I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and we're going to stir the entire time. So we have been stirring this for 10 minutes, and you want to stir it the whole time because you don't want it to boil. And now we are going to add about half a teaspoon of vanilla. That might have been a little bit more, but that's okay. And our chocolate. And we're going to turn it down to as low as it will go. And we're going to stir until the chocolate is completely melted. And we had this the first time last year, and it is the best hot chocolate. And so we are at the point now in the movie where the night watch has been sent in to arrest Death as the Hogfather, leading to some pretty amusing things. And Susan Stohellett, Death's granddaughter, which is another book and a complete story unto itself, has gone to Death's world to find out what's going on. See, that is really starting to look really good, like a hot chocolate should.
Woo! That was a good rhyme.
Oh, thank you. It's smooth, it's silky, it's thick, it is delicious, and it is done.
Woo!
Alright, so I'm going to ladle this into some cups. I have 5, one for each of us.
Yeah.
This will serve about 4. Or if you want to be a hog about it, you could drink the whole thing, but I really wouldn't suggest it. It's very thick, very rich. Now, if you do 4 servings, it's about a cup a piece. I'm doing 5, so it's a little less than that. And it is very messy if you don't have a ladle or something to use. Alright, and now we're going to, I have greased my knife by just sticking it into some coconut oil. And take this out. Like I said, it's not going to be completely set. That's okay. I'm going to cut it.
Gotta summon the boys. Oh.
How is it?
Grab my mug.
Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, it's even better than I remember.
Isn't that amazing? Alright. So we're going to heat up, this is our bone broth. The recipe is on my blog and it's also in my book. And we're just going to heat this up and then we're going to pour this into our pies. Now we keep this on hand all the time. We're going to remove our little star lids. So we're just going to take that and pour it into our pork pie. I believe that is the end of the first bit.
That was the end of part 1. Looks like it's tea time has won. Got control of everybody's teeth. No one's believing in Hogfather anymore. The Hogfather's castle of bones fell down.
So we are going to put our little star lids back on and let these cool.
Starlids.
Star lids. Like you, Liz. You're a star.
I'm a star.
Alright, and while that cools down, we are going to enjoy our delicious hot cocoa and do some decorating.
Yeah.
And start the second half of our lovely movie.
You can see my fist falling because I was like, celebrating. Woo, woo.
Okay. The kids are decorating the tree right now. And while a lot of kids would be singing Christmas carols or doing, I don't know, normal things, our kids are out there singing fan-made FNAF songs, specifically DA Games' Left Behind. So this is our plate to set out for the Hogfather's pork pie, a little mustard, and some pickle. Alright, so I'm not sure what has recorded and what hasn't. We've had some camera problems, so
And I'm gonna another ornament.
we have decorated our tree.
It's amazing.
We have regular ornaments, family ornaments, ornaments that I've had since childhood, ornaments that Ray's had since childhood, and then of course our more nerdy ornaments, and our beautiful
Do I have another ornament?
angel.
I do. I don't think I have another one.
We have up lights.
We should turn off the lights.
Now, Mommy's recording, please.
Lights in there. Right now we haven't finished decorating over here. It's kind of some Christmas stuff interspersed with our Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
It's Christmas time at Freddy's.
Still, you know, we've had a lot of fun. The pork pies were very, very filling, and the boys couldn't even finish theirs. And it's been a fun Dorky date with the whole family, and we'd like for you to like our video and comment, subscribe,
Check out her Patreon.
turn on the notifications to see when we have new videos. Check out my Patreon. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of Christmas stuff this month. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are almost done with the movie, and so we're just going to enjoy the rest of our night. And
Okay, happy Hogswatch, everybody.
Happy
Hogswatch, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.